Kit, I know there was a loss on Tuesday night against Stoke and you made some changes, but there was a fantastic second half performance from the boys that really should have resulted in at least extra time.
Yeah, I thought we played well. I thought first half we played okay, and we're very much in the game. I mean, their goal was fortuitous, I think, to say the least. I mean, he took it very well, Crouchy, but Ben Pringwood worked his socks off to get back in and towed the ball, but it went straight into Peter Crouch's path, who didn't even have to break his stride. So it was a little bit lucky from their point of view. I thought we played okay first half, but I said to the boys at half time, you know, okay's okay. It's not good enough, really. We're better than that, and a bit more belief, a bit more urgency in some of our play. And we showed that second half and created a lot of chances, a lot of them late on in the game, but you know, we probably should have at least, as you say, gone to extra time. So it's a little bit disappointing with that, but I was quite pleased with the performance. We mixed the team up a little bit. People needed game time, and you know, I felt I could make the changes without particularly sort of weakening the side at all. And I thought it worked out quite well overall.
And is that a culmination of the business over the summer to make sure that there is that strength in depth and you can make those changes and still believe that you've got a team that goes out there to win the games? Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you need to assemble a squad rather than just have a mishmash of players thrown together, and that's what we've tried to do, is assemble the squad and sort of double up in positions and have good players in every position. That, you know, like I say, you can get an injury and someone's got to come in, or you can make a change or suspensions, whatever it might be, whatever reason for, and the person you're bringing in can do, you know, pretty much an equally good job. So I'm pleased with the depth we got at the moment. You know, I think most managers would always rather have more players than less players. But I want a good sized squad, but I want quality, you know, and I firmly believe that's what we're getting now.
One disappointment is an injury to Jazz Richards, but not as bad as you first thought it was.
No, well, coming in Wednesday morning, it had gone quite puffy, his knee, and has fluid on it, and it looked, you know, quite a nasty injury to his ACL, his knee ligament. But then getting an ultrasound scan on that subsequently, it's nothing like as bad as we first feared. So he's going to be out for a short period of time, but nothing like what it initially looked like. So that's very good news, and obviously pleasing for us and great for Jazz.
And the good news, of course, is that Ryan Fredericks is back, even though he'd been missing from the last couple of games.
That's right. I mean, my general way of sort of dealing with players coming back from injury, and you know, obviously linked in with our medical staff, is to sort of err on the side of caution and maybe keep them back an extra day to build up their work with the physios and the balls before they come back into training with us. So we make sure, and the worst thing for me is when players come back from injury, go into training and then have to come off because they're not quite right. They've been rushed back. So we make sure when our players come back into training, they're right to go. You know, they're fully fit and fit for purpose, ready to go. And that was the case with Ryan. We sort of held him back a little bit. He was chomping at the bit to train. We said, no, an extra day with the physios doing the work that he needed. And as it happened, it was a good call because Jazz picked up this in the Stoke game, but now we've got Ryan fully fit and available, so that's very pleasing.
Casting my eye out on training this morning, I saw Scott Parker there and Luke Garbett there, so that's great news for you, and I believe they're playing in the under-21s on Monday evening.
Yeah, that's great news. They're both, again, both chomping at the bit, look really sharp in training, but you know, they've both been out for subsequent period of time, and they need to build up their game time. Make sure, again, I want them fully fit and available for selection, but only when it is right and they are, you know, fit and proper and ready to go. And we'll make sure that's the case. So yeah, we've got an under-21 game up at the IPRO against Derby on Monday, and George Williams also get more game time in that in his recovery. So that's a great opportunity for these boys to get some first team football, obviously at a proper stadium and against a good Derby side, and that'll be great for them and great for the club.
QPR, I know that you've watched them quite a lot already this season. They managed to keep hold of a lot of their key players during the summer months. What are you expecting from them on Friday night?
Well, they're a strong outfit. They've got, as you say, they've got some good players that were linked with potentially moves away from the football club. I'm sure Chris was delighted when the transfer window finally closed, and he kept hold of the boys. Obviously, Charlie Austin is the main focus of their team, and he's the person that most people talk about. understandably, because he's an excellent player and a prolific goal scorer. But QPR are not just all about Charlie Austin. He's a big part of their play, don't get me wrong, and we need to make sure his threat is nullified on Friday night. But they've got other good players as well, who can hurt you and can cause you problems. So we need to be solid and resolute as a team, do that defensive side collectively, and then we've got good players, and I'm pleased with us going forward and attacking wise what we can do and what we can create. I'm looking forward to what will be, I think, a fairly open, very entertaining game of football played in a fantastic atmosphere.
A lot's been made of conceding goals to set pieces against Sheffield, and yet on Tuesday night, as you've said, the goal came from a fortuitous situation. So you must have been pleased with defending, even though you made some changes. Yeah,
no, I was very much so. I mean, we spoke about set pieces there. Only actually had one corner against the Stoke in the game, but then we defended that pretty well. But yeah, I mean, the Sheffield Wednesday game for me was a one-off game. We hadn't conceded from a free kick or a corner all season, and then to do 3 in one game was inexplicable, really. We spoke about it, obviously, and I wasn't happy with it. The players knew that, and we looked at it, and we've worked on it subsequently on the training ground. We always worked on set pieces anyway, but we sort of tinkered with it slightly and made a couple of changes we feel make us stronger and better. So, moving on. It's disappointing for that one game, especially as we scored 2 good goals away from home and should have got something out of the game. So that was disappointing. But moving on, it's happened. We've dealt with it, and we'll be better for it.
QPR travelling in numbers. I know that you were absolutely delighted with the crowd on Tuesday night. How important are they tomorrow night? What difference can they make?
Make a huge difference. Again, not wanting to harp on to the past, but when I played at Fulham, we'd turn up week in, week out, players expecting to win, the crowd expecting the team to win, and you could just sense that, and it was brilliant. It was best time of my life playing football. I had an absolute ball, and I want these players to experience that, and I want this current, the current Fulham fans to experience that as well. And I want everyone connected with the football club to be having good times that I feel we all deserve, and we've worked hard to get. And I think that's a realistic possibility, and I think that will happen.
We wish you luck tomorrow.
Brilliant, thank you.